I mean, at the end of the day, it comes down to it's real easy. We get 6 points, and that's it.
This is LA Kings Fan Talk with your boys, Rodney, Rob, and Darren.
Heyo! What's up, everyone? What a great night it is to be a Kings fan. Not only do we beat the hated Ducks, but the Canucks lose to the Senators in a shootout. Rob, what are your thoughts on the game tonight?
Absolutely awesome. Cliche Jonathan Quick. I mean, you watch the game. He doesn't stand on his head. We don't win, and we need that. We need a stolen game. This is going to be probably a little shorter podcast, but in the short amount of time that we have, I'm going to be talking some mad shit to Darren about, I think Peterson should be the guy.
When did I say Peterson should be the guy?
You said absolutely. Peterson does so well against all the crappy teams.
I said he does well against the crappy teams, and they should still split him. Yeah, that's all.
Okay.
How's that saying Peterson's the guy?
But the game. It
was a great game.
It's a great game by our man, Jonathan Quick. And, you know, Vancouver, okay, so they're catching up. Okay. We still got to worry about staying in third place, stay ahead of Vegas, stay ahead of Vancouver.
I mean, at the end of the day, it comes down to it's real easy. We get 6 points, and that's it.
Six more, yeah. After tonight.
6 more points after tonight.
Yeah, right. It was 8 going in tonight.
Six more points, and it doesn't matter what. They could win out, and they're out of the playoffs. Doesn't matter. So
might want to double check our math there, but I understand what you're saying.
No, it's because they each have 87, and they each have 5 games left, so they can get to 97. So if we're at 92, so we can get 3 wins or 6
3
points.
wins. Blackhawks, Ducks, and Kraken.
Yep.
And then it won't matter.
Exactly.
Darren, what did you think about the game tonight?
I thought it was, I think Rob summed it up nicely. It was a Jonathan Quick steal. I thought we played well enough to win, but we also kept the Ducks in the game. We had a lot of chances we probably should have put in, and Gibson played decent too for the other team. So, but yeah, overall, much needed win. I was afraid our playoff hopes were going to die on 2 shitty losses to the Ducks, and I'm glad at least one of them hasn't happened yet. So
Gibson did play well. We dominated the first period. We dominated third period. Yeah. I was happy that crappy second period we played. And you know, I'm always the one screaming we shouldn't talk about the rest, but holy moly, we dominated that first period. And they called 1 penalty. They could have called 5-6 penalties that first period on the Ducks, and they didn't. And then they decide to start getting a little ticky-tack for the Ducks.
Yeah, it was
a bit frustrating.
For sure.
I'm glad Quick dominated the second for us.
Yeah.
So
and late in the third, they had their push.
They did. I got a question for Darren.
Wait a minute before you get there. Can you hold up on that? Because we're still talking about this game, and I do want to.
I'm talking about this game.
Okay.
Darren, what did you think about the? What did you think about Todd McClellan's challenge today?
I texted it to you guys. I didn't like the challenge at the time. Obviously, I'm happy with the results. Why I was unhappy with it because it was a 50-50 coin toss kind of deal, and we looked like shit on the power play before that. Or the penalty kill. So, in my mind, it was either we're going up a goal or we might be going down a goal, and you know.
I don't like your attitude, Darren, and which is why I replied in the text message with a giant "F you." You know, just it needed to happen. I'm glad. I hope all those McClellan haters out there are choking on it now too, and good for us.
I'm not a McClellan hater. If we had lost that challenge, that would have been, not the reason why we lost the game.
Right, but see, and this is part of our fandom. This is, people would have jumped all over him.
Oh yeah.
If we would have lost that challenge,
for sure.
They would they would take that opportunity to talk crap, and not a single one of them will sit there and say, awesome job, challenging it, getting it. That came down to coaching right there. That was his decision. He made a great decision.
Yep.
Good job. Suck it. Suck on that, all you McClellan haters.
Let's talk about what players did well for the Kings tonight.
I don't know. All right.
Yeah. I mean, I think, unfortunately, we only played 9 forwards in the third period, so we didn't get to see very much of Kaliev, Lemieux, or Kupari. Kupari and Lemieux had 1 shift, and Kaliev had like 2, maybe. So
3,
yeah, something like that. So,
move rare. I almost called him Overari. Oh, it was weird. Move rare. We talked about why isn't Strand in? Why isn't Move rare in? A little bit better size. Why are we going with the small stuff? Have you noticed Move rare at all? And I think when I ask myself that question, the answer is no. I haven't noticed them, which is an absolute great thing.
It's a great thing. No, look, so not joking. In the first, it took me until the second period to even really see him on the ice, because he's just doing his thing. He's like, for a young little kid, he's bringing this like veteran calming influence on our defense, which we really needed, because our defense looked pretty sketchy.
He almost plays like a Swede. He almost, he's.
Well, he is. He's playing his roots.
Almost like if he's like Nick Lidstrom's nephew.
I like I said, I like his size. I'm a size person. I've always been, I say it over and over and over again. I'm sure people are tired of hearing it if they're listening, but it's nice to see someone get in there and just,
it's very reminiscent of like the old days of like Scuderi and Mitchell, where like they played 17 minutes, they played good time on the PK, they didn't do much flashy, but they also didn't get burnt. And
the one noticeable part of today is he got smashed in the corner.
Right.
There was a bit of floundering going around, and then Quick took that penalty that the guy dove on.
And then was it right before that or right after that? Moverari got tripped, and then
it was like that. It was
like
thing.
Yeah, it was like right before that trip, right? And then like he got tripped on the way out of the zone, and then like so I think when the ref blew the whistle, he was like, "You're gonna call that and not."
It was bad. That was just another thing. But I think that was basically the only time I went, "Uh-oh." But other than that, Moverari's been just as solid as they come, and when you can throw in the size there, I like the play. That's all.
With the news that Anderson is knocking on the door coming back, what are you going to do? Yeah. What do you think we should do?
Anderson goes in, Mover, he's serving a purpose, and it doesn't necessarily mean he gets to play all the time.
Yeah. Although Edler looked really slow tonight and was taking some lazy penalties. So
didn't he?
I'm not sure. And he's coming off of a couple days rest, so it's not like a rest thing. Yeah. Keep an eye on that.
Yeah, to me, I mean, I think we maybe give Edler a day off, especially, knock on wood, we get 3 wins and give a couple of the older guys some days off towards the end of the season. So,
yep. Since you bring up Mike Anderson, we might as well throw out a couple blurbs. Since our last podcast, we were talking about some things. Well, Doughty is now shelled for the rest of the season, and I thought it was, like I said, I was hearing some whispers about Anderson being done as well, but apparently not, which is great news. Right. And I don't know, wrist thing. I was kind of expecting that from the Doughty thing, Yeah,
I mean, it definitely sounded like it was something wrist hand related that he couldn't shoot, but
it's just terrible because he's just, I'm a big critic of Doughty, and he's just been he's been playing the way I wish he's played his whole career. Just this season, he's just really taken over a leadership role. I've been very proud of the way he's been leading the team, and now that he's hurt, it just sucks because if we want to go far in the playoffs, we really do need him.
Yeah, for sure. That's why, what was it, a month ago, I was pretty bullish on the team because I thought Doughty was coming back, and with Doughty back, I think we could challenge Edmonton. With a healthy squad, we could challenge Edmonton. So,
but along with Doughty being shelved and talk of Anderson coming back, we get Intensifies back in the lineup for us. Brown is back. Well, he was back right before our last podcast. But we're slowly getting a little healthy, and our play's picking up a bit. And I don't think that's coincidence.
I think the other thing that sucks too is looking at Athanasiou and how he kind of fit with Kopitar and Kempe. It's almost like you wish you almost wonder like what could have been if they would have stayed healthy all season, because then you could move Iafallo into a second or third line role, and
So Rod, since we're sitting here and we're starting to feel our play a little bit, and we're starting to roll the way we've had some dominating periods with these lineups. In these lineups, there's no Byfield, no Velarde, no Bjornfoot, no Stetcher, who we traded for.
Right.
How do you feel about it? Do we go with what we got these last 4 games? Do we rotate Velarde, Byfield? Do we give them another shot in these last 4 games?
Well, if you look at the playing time that both Lemieux and Kupari got in the third period, maybe coaches are already thinking about this. Maybe we see Velarde in there for a little bit. Maybe we see Byfield in there. That's the one line. It's been all season. It's been that third line. We never know who's going to be on that line. However, we also know that whenever the Kings win, there's a 99% chance you're going to see the exact same lineup in the next game. So It'll be interesting to see what coach does.
I think until we lose, I don't think he's going to mess with it. I mean, anything with it. So
yeah, that's true. But Velarde, Grundstrom, Byfield, between those 3, I'm okay. I'm okay with the defensive moves. But between those 3 kids that are sitting, I won't care to see them give Lemieux a day off and put one of them in for Lemieux. Lemieux, I think he's one of the ones we got to rotate in.
I would actually like to see Lizotte back on the line with Kaliev and Lemieux. Bring back that fourth line that did so good for us, that little energy spark line. And then just throw Kupari between Iafallo and Brown. If they don't work, we could sit them in the third period.
He's shown a willingness to do that already. So,
what else? Who else looked good today? And who didn't look good?
I mean, I think we talked about Edler already. He looked a little slow. Other than that, I mean, I don't think any of the defensemen really had like a terrible, awful game. Jersey again just let someone blow right by him, and that's how they scored. So.
It's not. No, Jersey didn't let someone blow right by him. Jersey was playing someone else's guy. He wasn't doing his job. He was trying to do someone else's job.
Right.
And you start to wonder, is that because, does he think he can do it all?
Does he think he has to fill in for Doughty, so he has to do everything?
Yeah. But, he's young. He's learning.
But, I mean, other than that, I mean, the top 2 lines played excellent. I mean, and I think even the Lizotte line was good, and we didn't see the Kupari line but I don't even know. I don't have their time on ice, but I know they didn't play the third, so maybe 6 minutes, 8 minutes tops. So,
when the Kings had that power play, Kempe took that one-timer. Was kind of pissed off. He couldn't believe he didn't score. The next time he gets it, they were saying it was a one-timer, but he was doing a pass, a little shot pass in front. He was attempting a shot pass. And then the next time he got it, he attempted another pass when he had a clear shot, and I thought maybe he was losing his confidence in shooting. And I'm like, please don't lose your confidence in shooting, Kempe. You're finally confident in your shot, scoring a lot of goals this year. And sure enough, right after that, he scores. So it's good to see he went back to shooting.
How's Arvidsson a minus on the season?
He's slow to get off the ice. So they're scoring right before he jumps on the bench? I don't know.
No, but no. How is he a minus? Because they had a power play goal.
No, not for the day. For
the
the
season.
season.
Oh, for the season. Oh, gotcha. I thought you meant for the day.
You got Dano plus 12. You got Trevor Moore plus 17, and Harvardson's a -1. This is weird.
So that's that 2-week or whatever month stretch he played with Kopitar, and they didn't gel right at the beginning of the season.
So there was a moment in the game that I loved today, and it was Jonathan Quick. The net was wide open. He just made a great save. He sees Getzlaff is about to score in the empty net, and he's like, I don't care if your ass is retiring in a couple days. I'm not going to let you score on me. Came across and made that awesome save. So good to see.
Oh, yeah.
It was cool listening to the crowd and on the TV, and the announcers are even making comments of how both Kings fans and Duck fans, the chants were going back and forth, and that was nice to see.
Yep.
You got one more against them, and that, we didn't talk about it when we went over the schedules last time, but these Duck games, the Shark games are, we don't have any more, thank God, but when we play these teams, these California teams, they're tough wins for us.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean,
so we still got one more.
Yep.
Like Dallas Eakin said, they don't, or we want to see them lose, and I think it's the same. Like we feel the same way in those games. Like obviously we want to see the Ducks lose too. So like doesn't matter how good or bad we are. Like it's going to be a fight. So that's why I think the last game we played against the Ducks was so surprising, where it was that drubbing we laid on them. So
anything else about tonight's game before we move on to our upcoming schedule?
Just a couple blurbs since our last podcast. We've beat 2 teams. I know people are unhappy that we only won 2-1 against Columbus, and I'm sure they'll feel the same way about the 2-1 Anaheim. Oh, this isn't a playoff team. We only could beat these bad teams barely 2-1. A win's a win.
I think a bad team with a good goalie, and I think Merzlikins and Gibson are both good goalies. Like I think any game could be a tough game against them, you know what I mean, if the goalie is on. So I think anyone who has a problem with the fact that we won those games only 2-1 can just look at how well the goalies played against us. So
all right, who do we got next on the schedule?
Chicago, Anaheim, and then next week we had back-to-back Seattle, Vancouver to end the season.
Yep.
All right, so who are you playing Jonathan Quick in every single one of those games, or do you throw Peterson in at least on one of those back-to-backs? What do you do, Darren?
I mean, I think depends. I think he's going to play Quick against Chicago and Anaheim, and then I don't know if he's going to roll the dice and play Peterson in the Seattle game and hope he can steal a win there and then save Quick for potentially the important game against Vancouver. That might be what I would do, but I don't know if that's his mentality going into it. So,
Rob, what would you do?
I'm rolling Quick, and I won't care. I won't care what his decision is. I'm a fan that will sit there and just accept with what he's getting paid for. He's getting paid to make these decisions, and you just sound stupid when you second guess. But whatever he may, I mean, he's gotten us here. If he wants to continue to throw Peterson in, it's like Darren said, Peterson has some really good numbers against sub 500 teams. But me personally, I would put in Quick. I think he's gonna too. I think he's kind of made that let it be known. But our last 3 wins, he's played in the 4 last games. He's been the goalie of choice, and I think that's what he's doing. I think McClellan's just saying this is it.
I think my only thing is I don't know if I would want him to play Quick to play all 4 games if he doesn't have to, or if we could try and do you try and game the system if we go win Chicago, win Anaheim? do you go
I
Peterson?
I think he'll be standing watching, and if we don't have to, right?
Yeah, exactly. 100%.
Because if Vegas loses 2 games and we win 1, there's your 6 points, right?
Yep, and same thing with Vancouver.
Right.
So they're tied. So
today was like worst case scenario for the Knights. They're just sitting at home for the next few days, watching these other teams get points.
Yeah, I think that's the other thing that benefits the Kings a little bit is, like, everyone is like, oh, they have games in hand, but it's like, yeah, that means they have to play 5 games in 9 days. Like, that's brutal. So
and St. Louis, Dallas, Washington, Washington's play is hot right now.
Yeah,
they're heating up. St. Louis, well, while we're talking about it a little bit,
they might want that game or may need that game to get some home ice against Minnesota. I mean,
and St. Louis is so freaking good, and no one talks about them.
Nope.
Yep.
Nobody talks about them. They have 7 20-goal scorers, 2 more that are almost to 20.
Yeah.
Think about that. 3 full lines of 20-goal scorers.
Right.
That's sickening. And
Kings are struggling to get 4.
And their stud goalie, Bennington, isn't the stud there. And he's doing it. I mean, he's struggling, and they're that good still.
Right.
And nobody's talking about them. Because everyone's too busy talking about, the Maple Leafs, they're in second place. Well, why not St. Louis? Right. Why don't people talk about how good they are? Oh, let's talk about Edmonton. Oh, because they're in second place. Whatever. Sick of that crap.
Is that ever going to change, Rob?
It'll never change.
Right. Until Gretzky's grandson gets drafted by the Kings, you won't be hearing any West Coast hockey talk that much.
And we were talking about this before we got on too. Barry Melrose was just so outspoken about the King. It was awesome to hear someone truly sit there and go, wow, I like the Kings. I like the way they're playing. Wow, Jonathan Quick is awesome. Wow. You go on Twitter, and instead of the Kings fans going, hey, thanks, Barry, for saying positive, good things about the Kings, because Alex Faust won't say it, and he's our guy. But instead of saying that, they're sitting there going, he sounds drunk. Oh, Barry Melrose, he needs to get off the TV because he's just drunk and doesn't know what he's talking about. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He's talking great about the Kings. Shut the hell up.
Did that come from Darren's burner Twitter account?
Yeah, maybe.
They were a little all over the place tonight. I think they missed. They were like, Athanasiou scored, and I was like, how did he score that?
Because they're both in the area. It didn't matter. I don't give a crap about that. At least, like I said, it's just nice to hear guys just be fans of the team.
Maybe it's a little like Faust and Fox see us every day, so it's kind of same old. So, whereas Melrose is this the first time he's done a Kings game for us?
No,
second time maybe.
Yeah, I think so. This season.
Yeah, obviously this season. So
I'm a Steve Levy fan too, though. That's why I'm a little biased.
Yeah,
I ran into a Steve Levy coming out of the Playboy Club at the Palms Hotel one night. He's low key. He's a low key party animal.
Oh yeah, I believe it.
You ran into him coming out or going in? What did you say?
He was coming out.
I did like what Melrose said. There was one point in the game where he was like, I think these other teams in the West in the playoffs, they don't want to be facing the Kings with the way they're playing tonight because the Kings look really good. So it's good to hear. You just never hear it,
Yeah, you just never hear it. And whether it's just lip service or not, give us our due. If we make the playoffs, we are a playoff team. I don't care if we're out of the Pacific. And when you take a look at what we're going through, no Doughty, no Mikey Anderson, that's your top pairing. What teams out there can lose their 2 top pairing defensemen for as long as we have and still function?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, just give us our due and shut the hell up and quit being haters. Hey, when we go in, if we go into the playoffs, we'll be underdogs, and that's fine. We'll be underdogs. And if we lose, if we get swept, let everyone sit there and say we got swept. But you know what? Suck on it, guys. We made the playoffs.
Nobody thought we'd be there in the first place.
We're not the Kraken.
And the kids get some valuable experience.
Yeah,
It's all good. It's all good.
But if we make it, just recognize. Just that's all. Let's shut your mouth and recognize.
You guys want to talk about the major injury in our farm system?
Yeah, you guys. Did we like mumble that on our last podcast? Yeah, we did. I did. I remember saying, "Uh-oh, guys, Brent Clark got helped off the ice. I hope that's not serious." Well, the verdict is in. It is major serious. He is out for the season and will not be participating in the OHL playoffs.
Did they say what the injury was? I
lower body.
Just lower body.
Yeah.
I don't think I've been able to see the play or anything with it. So, but I mean, it's unfortunate. Like, yet another Kings defenseman got hurt, and he's not even playing for the Kings right now. So, but hopefully it's not a long-term injury. I mean, I know being out for the playoffs, what is that, month and a half, 2 months minimum. So hopefully he can, come into next season, go to training camp with us, and who knows, maybe he takes a spot. So,
and it's, even though it's not an injury, Brock Faber's going back.
That one was brutal.
Well, it's just more. It's
more
okay.
seasoning. It's more seasoning, but there's also now the is he going to sign with the Kings? You know what I mean?
Yes, he is.
It might be a blessing in disguise. It'll give us just another year to sort out all the guys we have to see who we're going to keep. Who we're
Darren,
not.
he's going back because
I know he's going back because his team is good.
But
all those guys are going back. He's going back for that reason and that reason, not because he doesn't want to sign with the Kings. He was genuinely happy when he was picked by the Kings.
Yeah.
So don't even start with that.
I do like that we have Darren on here because he brings all the negative stuff to balance it out. Because Rob and I are a little too positive about the Kings. We're a little too optimistic. Darren comes in with the negativity.
I'm just trying to be realistic. Yeah. Just realistic.
You're trying to do this shock jock reporter stuff.
There's no shock jock here.
So your followers, you could get up to like 170 followers.
Listen, if I wanted to be a shock jock, I'd be screaming and yelling about how Brock Faber is never going to sign for the Kings and he's not that good anyways.
It sounded like that's what you just said.
Nah, I said there's a fear of it going to happen. That's all.
Exactly. You see, you're just all over the place, Darren. Stop it. Where's Mike when you need him?
All right. He's off to the side right
here. I don't know if you guys caught my text to you guys, but without Delorier on the Ducks,
Yeah,
the Ducks might be the only team we're tougher than because we're not very tough.
Lemieux didn't know what to do. Lemieux's like, what do I even do now? All right, Kings fans, that's our show for today. Till next time, go Kings, go.
Okay.
Go Kings.